We talked a lot about literacy and writing as a school last year when we were looking to write the grant. And I had been thinking a lot about how writing is a really important skill for teaching reading. You know, oftentimes we focused a lot on teaching reading and writing kind of comes after. But I think that we could really look at it the other way around. And so that was one of the things I was focusing on as a teacher. And so I said, well, how could we integrate writing more systematically across all the grade levels in order to deepen literacy instruction for everybody? And so I was reading a lot of texts about, educational texts about writing, teaching writing, all this stuff. And so I thought, well, if we could have a school newspaper and get everybody on board, it would be a project that would impact 100% of our student body and also get the students involved in the community. There are real world things that we can engage our students, in learning about that would motivate them to be writers. And it has been amazing, actually. Kids took a trip to the homeless shelter and wrote about their interviews with the people there. They've interviewed business members in the community. They've interviewed teachers at the school. And they've participated in events in order to write about them. And so getting kids to kind of see things around them that relate to what they're learning at school is really powerful. And writing, of course, strengthens their reading skills.
It's very awesome to be part of something that you could actually do that's actually really fun, because you actually learn from those things.
What I've seen is that kids have really taken control of their learning when it comes to these projects, and there's a level of enthusiasm that is really inspirational. I've also seen kids really take ownership over that idea, I'm a writer, fulfilling that role, I'm an author, which is pretty special to see kids really enthusiastic about writing, because writing's not easy. Writing is a really difficult task, and getting kids to understand the levels of revision. You have to write that. No, you need to write it again. No, one more time, write that, right? And they don't push back on it. They want to do it because they know it's being published to an authentic audience.
Being an author is like writing your own story and being creative. And then you learn from your own story.
Lo que he visto es algo grandioso, algo muy grande en este programa que la verdad yo nunca pensé que lo iban a traer. Es un programa fantástico, es para mis hijas, porque tengo 2 hijas aquí en Coronado Elementary. Siempre he dicho que esta escuela es la mejor de todas, y mi sobrino vino aquí y nunca pensé que iban a tener este programa de la prensa. La prensa significa, para mi hija Vianney, significa le da tanta motivación, le encanta leer, le encanta escribir, le gusta redactar cada cosa, a ella le gusta escribir tanto, que ahora he visto que el impacto ha sido tan grande que digo yo, wow, es un programa, es súper sensacional, porque les da mucha energía, les da mucha motivación, y la verdad, yo como madre de familia digo que es lo mejor que pudo haber tenido Coronado. Ya tiene muchos años desde que empezó Coronado, que empezó a venir mi sobrino. Yo veía que todo estaba bien, pero ahora con la prensa es algo totalmente nuevo, algo muy importante, es muy sensacional.
I think it's important because I could learn how to help other people and be more understanding to them.
When I talk about authentic learning, it means that we use what makes sense. Children want to know why they're doing what they're doing. And so we have this beautiful garden. Anyone who has come really needs to visit the garden, because it doesn't get much more authentic than that. Well, with everything else that we do, so the garden provides a source of content for writing, for reading, certainly for math and science, certainly for environmental education. As we have looked at our curriculum, we have found that we really want children to be those strong writers as well. And so that literacy focus, not just in English, but in English and in Spanish, really became important. So GUL helped to bring about La Prensa, which is our student-led newsletter. And it is outstanding. outstanding, because children then are getting opportunities to interview people in the community. Their voice is very present through La Prensa. And so I'm hopeful that our families also see the power of something like this. And we don't know, maybe this experience is sparking or planting some seeds for children for the future as they look at maybe what they can do to publish, to go forth and just share their voices.
Having received this money, the GOOL grant, I mean, it was a significant amount of money, and it allowed us to purchase technology for this project, this kind of dream that we had. And it's been really fantastic because it has impacted the entire school, but it has also provided us with a tool that we've used for so many more things than we ever imagined. I mean, it has really transformed classrooms. It's enabled us to use technology authentically and embed it authentically in our instruction, you know. And so I would say the ability to implement a project or this vision that we have is gives us a chance to try out new things. It gives us a way to implement projects that inspire children and get them engaged in challenging work that is meaningful.